Well, hello there, Tankers of the Blitz universe. I'm Flossie, and today I figured I should do a review on the Badger. Now, currently this tank is in the store for whenever it loads. I believe it's 17,500 gold for the cheapest bundle. And you can see there are, in fact, 3 different bundles that you can go for. These 2 right here, so one for 47 Canadian dollars, one for 20,000 gold, and then there is a third one for 17,000 gold that I can't find right now for whatever reason. Let's see here. Is it in the tanks section? That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, there it is. 17,500 gold. So, is the Badger worth these prices? Now, that is what we will be discussing in today's video, but first, before I break into that topic, let's get straight into the tank stats, starting off with the gun. Now, the gun deals 460 damage on the standard shells, 390 on the premium, and 550 HE damage, which is very, very nice. And paired with its decent penetration of 275 on the standard shells, 370 on the premium, and 110 on the high explosive, means you're going to be dumping out shells really, really easily in this tank. It's very, very easy to pen opponents in this tank, and that is why I am, in fact, using Rammer. Simply because I actually want to get the most DPM I can out of this vehicle. And yeah, I mean, even that, look at that high explosive pen, 110 millimeters of HE pen is really, really nice. So if you see the sides or rear of mediums and lights and some heavies like the Yo, you're going to be able to deal so much damage. Now, the tank does carry 10 degrees of gun depression, which is very, very nice, and paired with the armor profile that I will get into in a second here, it means you can work a lot of ridge lines very, very effectively. Now, in terms of the gun's overall handling, it has 3.6 seconds of aim time with a dispersion of 0.339. So the dispersion on paper is quite good. However, in game, you'll find that the second you move your gun from left to right or up and down, your dispersion just blooms like crazy and you have a super high chance of missing your shots. So I will say, when fully aimed in, the gun is very accurate, but if you're moving your tank around or just moving your gun back and forth, like using the gun arc, it's very troll. So be very careful with how you are playing this tank, and you basically want to sit still to get your gun, to basically use your gun effectively. That's the most effective way of using this tank, is by not moving the gun. But yeah, anyways, in terms of its DPM, you'll see here 3,800 is absolutely incredible. And that's one of the really strong things about the Badger, is its insane level of DPM. And you can see that's why I'm using Gun Rammer, because you get an extra like almost 300 DPM if you use Rammer. Now, another thing I do use, while we're on the equipment side of things, I do use enhanced armor, and I will go over that a little bit later as to why I do use that. But you also do have enhanced sandbag armor, so your HP is actually still really nice, even with using enhanced armor. So I do recommend you guys use enhanced armor, but again, I'll show that off later. Now back to the tank stats, we're going to talk about the mobility. Now this thing does go 34 forwards and 12 in reverse, so that forward speed is pretty decent. It's nothing crazy though, but that makes sense because this tank is super heavily armored. So obviously you're not going to have a tank that goes like 50 when it has this much armor. However, the reverse speed is pretty awful. 12 reverse speed. If you've ever seen me do reviews on American tanks, you'll know that I absolutely hate tanks with bad reverse speed, and this is no exception. Like, 12 reverse speed means that you are really going to struggle to get out of certain situations that you put yourself in. So be very, very careful with where you're positioning this tank, especially with that bad reverse speed. As for its hull traverse rate and power to weight, its power to weight's okay. But again, its top speed is nothing crazy, so it doesn't really matter. And its hull traverse rate is actually pretty solid, and it means that for the most part, mediums and lights are going to have a bit of a struggle when it comes to trying to get around you. So anyways, that's enough for the tank's stats. Let's break into the armor profile. And you can see here, I am using an IS-4 as I normally do to shoot at this tank using calibrated shells. I am also using enhanced armor because it does make a difference, and I'll show you that in a bit. But you can see here, while using AP against this tank, you're not really going to pen it. Its superstructure is literally, it looks like a tomato. So yeah, good luck with that. You can see here the lower plate is a pretty easy pen though, when you're facing directly at the tank. So if you're in this tank, basically hide your lower plate at all times and you'll be fine. Now, you can see here, when I do switch to heat, these two spots here become big weak spots, actually. And that is, of course, on flat ground. However, you can see here, if I'm not using enhanced armor, then the entire tank becomes green for a vehicle like the IS-4. So this is where you can see that enhanced armor really makes a big difference. And yeah, so I do recommend you guys use this if you can, because it's such a big difference. And you can see here, even on standard shells, you can see these little spots on the side of the lower plate are like 50-50 pens, and then without enhanced armor, they are just completely pennable. So I think it really does make a difference, and it adds about 10 millimeters of armor to the tank, so that's very nice. You can see here the side armor is actually very, very solid on this tank, and you have to really over-angle it for people to be able to pen your track wheel, which is very unusual for a British tank. Normally, tanks that are on the Britain tech tree have track wheels like the 215B that just get penned like at any angle, but this tank is an exception to that. So yeah, it's actually quite good on the side armor. And it means that you can, in fact, wiggle this tank back and forth like this. So if people do load premium shells to try and shoot at your tank on flat ground, it's going to be very tricky for them to actually aim at you, especially with the fast traverse speed that this thing has. You're able to wiggle it back and forth and really get a lot of troll bounces when you are on flat ground. Now, let's take a look at this tank hull down, and you can see, obviously, with AP, you're not going to get through it. However, with heat, yeah, you're still not going to get through it unless you have, like, a super high pen tank destroyer, like the E4, E3, like YAG. Any big alpha high pen tank destroyers are going to butter right through you in the same spots that I showed earlier. And you can see it doesn't really matter if you run enhanced armor or not hull down, because this tank is just insane hull down. But actually, against certain tanks, it will matter, because you can see the armor goes up to 390 on these weak spots here. So, yeah, but still be careful, because certain tanks, like I said, heavies and tank destroyers, some of them can actually still pen you, even if you're hull down. So you have to play this tank sort of either by wiggling it back and forth, or play it at like an angle like this while you're hull down. Like, don't sit straight on. If you angle your tank a slight amount, then your armor becomes even more troll. But that's basically the gameplay style of this tank. Just play it hull down and you'll be fine. I don't recommend you play this thing alone, like solo, or on flat ground, because both of those things will get you killed very quickly. And as you can see here, if tanks manage to circle you, yeah, they're going to be HEing you basically everywhere. Look at that, 31 mils down here, 40 on the rest. It's absolutely horrible, and basically every tier 10 can spam you with HE, so be very careful when it comes to you don't want to let people behind you. That's simple as that. And the side armor is okay, but you can still get HE'd if people have enough pen. So, anyways, enough of the armor profile. Let's get into some live gameplay to see how this tank actually performs. Now, how do I recommend you all play this vehicle? Well, personally, I recommend you play it like something similar to an E3 or a 113 GFT or any other frontline tank destroyer. It's a similar playstyle to that, so I would recommend you stick with your team. Don't go alone, because that's just a death wish. But stick with your team and go front to midline. Kind of support your heavy tanks if you can. The tank is too slow to support mediums for the most part, so you want to stick with your heavies if you can. And while you're doing that, you'll be able to use your team's HP to your advantage while getting out that 3,800 DPM into the enemy tanks. So we are on Yukon for our first game. And of course, my PC loads me in late like every other video. So we're going to make our way towards B cap here, because I obviously don't really need to go medium side, especially if their Sheridan has bled out all of his health like that. So yeah, I'm going to stick with the heavy tanks. We're going to go towards B. I might just cap the base, since it looks like their whole team is going to be full sending C, and I don't really want, I don't want to be down by too much base cap, so I might as well just sit in the base cap, and we'll cap it. And it looks like their team is also taking A, which is very interesting indeed. It means that our YAG is probably going to get pushed on in just a second here. So what I will do is I will play passive. I'll play near this cron here, and I'll let the YAG kind of be a bit of a bait, or he can hold that side pretty much, and then I'll try and push on this side. But we'll see what actually happens. They do have a 183 on their team, and that's someone I'm not really interested in getting shot at by that 183, because he can in fact hesh my lower plate if I am showing it directly straight onto him, so I do have to be very careful of that. However, we do see the VK90 on my side, and Bro is trying to side scrape against this IS-7, but he kind of is not really, he doesn't notice I exist. So we get a free shell into him. We also get a free shell into this 268. And because the 60 is making a monkey play, I'm going to just pop my adrenaline so I get the max amount of DPM I can, well over 4,000 DPM, and we're just going to absolutely shred him, and the rest of our teammates are able to pick him up, which is excellent. So they are already down a tank, and their Sheridan is basically screwed. So we're sitting in a pretty good spot right now, and I'm not too worried about any of their vehicles right now. So in that case, also seeing that their 183 is on my left-hand side, I might as well push up and start dealing with this IS-7 here. Let's aim in, and we do hit him for 449. Very, very nice indeed. So let's see. He's still going to poke me for whatever reason. I feel like I can pen his turret cheek, and yes, you can see there, even though the IS-7's turret cheeks say they're red, they're still a pen for some vehicles, which is very, very strange. I don't know what's wrong with the armor highlighting on the IS-7, but yeah, something's wrong with it for sure. Anyways, we do get penned by that 183, which is very, very sad indeed. And we do actually die to the VK90. Wow. Okay, then. Was not expecting the 183 to hit me there, but I guess that was on me. Oh, well. We are going to be, we're going to be winning this game quite easily, though. I wasn't too worried about that. And even though we did die, we still did a decent amount of damage. We did well over 3,000 damage. And yeah, I could have done a lot more if I didn't get 183'd. But again, that's on me. You can see, though, the Badger's gun is extremely nice. And it's very, very easy to get out tons of damage, even if you do get nuked. But yeah, that was a win for our first battle. And I guess we'll see how much I did exactly in just a second here. So, let's see how much damage did I get out. We did 3,400 damage. There you go. So, very solid game. Again, we could have done a lot more if I didn't die there, but oh well. And ooh, E5 camo is out. Let's go, dude. I'm picking that up right away. That camo is sick. All right, bet. Anyways, enough of the intermission, me buying the E5 camo. Anyways, we'll get into game number 2 and see how we can do. But you can see there, I stuck with my heavy tanks. I didn't play too aggressive at the beginning because I didn't want to lose all my health for no reason at the very beginning of the battle. I know I did that later on in the battle, but that's my fault. But again, playing with your heavies is super important. And it's really it's going to help you win a lot of battles that you do play in this tank, because if you can help your heavies out by using your crazy DPM to farm your enemies out, especially other enemy heavies, you're gonna be going crazy with the damage. Also, hi Conqueror, how's it going? I see that you are a fan of me. Thank you very much. And their TDs are typing random stuff. Okay, well, I'm done reading the chat there. Bruh. I got one nice message and then 2 other ones that were just like, about 3 other ones that were like, bro, what? Anyways, we'll be making my way towards mid here, and I'm probably gonna get blocked by the egg. Thank you very much. That's great, man. Anyways, we are on Dynasty's Pearl, so of course I will make my way to where the hull down position is on heavy side. Actually, you know what? No. We're going to start shooting at this Conqueror. I was going to keep going forward, but then I saw that they had an M103 kind of to my left, and I don't really want to get punished by him for free. Wow, that shell should not have bounced, but it did, and at least we do get 2 bounces back for that. So that's very nice indeed. But yeah, I'm going to keep sitting here. I don't want to keep pushing up too aggressive, because you can see the majority of our heavy tanks have not pushed past this building right here. So I don't want to be the one to make that first aggressive play. I'm just going to sit back here and we'll get a... Wow, okay. Apparently the gun is trolling me right now, and that is something that I said this gun can do. It can be troll. It's very surprising it's being trolled while I'm fully aimed in, but it is what it is. So I guess I will just keep waiting here. We'll see if this Conqueror pokes me again. Doesn't look like he's going to, though. So, in that case, what I will do is I will make my way to the right-hand side here, where I can start shooting at tanks like this Grill. And actually, you know what? No, the 183 is turning. Or the 183 is kind of ignoring me. So you know what? I'll go for the 183. I'll get a shot into him. There we go. 400 damage roll. That was pretty sucky, but oh well. At least we do hit him. And now that I see the Conqueror is making a play into the open, I'm going to try and get a hatch shell into him. Unfortunately, that one does not pen. And now I'm being shot at by the grill on the side. I don't know why our team is so scared to push this 183. I will get the clear into him, though, so that's very nice indeed. And now I will just basically hold off the rest of these tanks over here. We'll see what we can do. I'm going to get a tracking shell into the Conqueror. Hopefully, I can bounce a shell from the grill. There you go. You can see the fantastic armor of this tank working like a charm against tanks like that grill there. The Leopard does try and kill me from the rear, but I am able to get my teammates' support on him. And we do get a very nice max roll into this, to the grill here. Hopefully, come on, traverse. Yes, even with a dead driver, I was luckily able to traverse fast enough to get the clear on that grill. And he is not happy at all, but sucks to suck, right? So, oh well. Anyways, let's see if I can get a shell into this concept if he keeps backing up here. And a bonk. I wanted to make sure that one was actually going to hit. So there we go. We do get a shell into the concept, bringing us over 3,000 damage. And all that's left is a full health VK, who I'm probably not going to get to anytime soon because my driver is dead. So I am going turtle speed right now. Not very fun. But it is another win, so I can't complain too much. And yeah, we'll see if I can get at least another shell of damage out. I don't even know which way to go. This guy's, like, probably going to drive the opposite direction. Oh, he's just going to get nuked. Okay, well, it doesn't matter which way I drive, apparently. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother. But anyways, you can see the Badger has some pretty good holding capabilities. And you can see there, if you do angle the armor correctly, you can get bounces from tanks like that grill, or even high pen tanks. Like the grill doesn't have bad pen, and we were still able to get bounces from him just by wiggling my tank back and forth. And you can see we blocked 2,000 damage, and we did another 3,400. Wow, our BZ actually did he did quite a lot of damage that game. Thumbs up to you, or fire emoji. There we go. All right, well, that's game number 2 over, and let's get into our third and final battle in the Badger. We're on Lagoon, and yeah, I mean, we'll see what we can do on a map like Lagoon. Lagoon's not a bad map, but it really depends on where the team actually goes for you to properly get out damage. But again, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I am hopeful that our team does go heavy side, especially against their lineup. They have an E100, 4005. Yeah, they have some pretty interesting heavy tanks, and they do have a 113 GFT, which I do have to be careful of. But yes, it looks like they are, in fact, going heavy side, so that is excellent. And that's good because it means I can use my tank hull down onto this middle area here, of course, in mid on heavy side, which is excellent for the Badger. And it means that I can really just hold off a lot of heavy tanks. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how our team holds up. And let's see if we can get our last battle to be a win. That would be lovely to get 3 battles in a row. Wins. 3 wins in a row. What am I saying, bro? What is my English? Anyways, I'll make my way up towards this rock here. And you can see they do have a Caro. Interesting spot for the Caro. I don't know why this guy's playing his Caro up here. However, let's get a nice, wow, 530 roll into that Caro. That is absolutely insane. And we do get HE splashed. I'm going to assume it's by that WZ there. We are, in fact, able to pen that WZ as well, which is very nice indeed. And we'll see if he HE. Yeah, he was him. It was HE me. Okay, well, I mean, we're just going to keep out-trading this. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I was going to say we're just going to keep out-trading this WZ. However, we are just losing a ton of HP to an E100 who's apparently allowed to poke me there. That's very interesting. Let's see if I can at least kill the 4005. There we go. We do kill the 4005. And yeah, you can see one of the downsides of this tank that I didn't mention earlier, I forgot to mention, is the tank sucks against getting HE spammed by people. Like tanks like that WZ, they're just going to have a field day when it comes to HE spamming you. So yeah, I'm sure he's going to do it again. There we go, another HE spammer shell going into my tank. However, we do out-reload him, so yeah, I'm just going to get another shell into your lower plate, and now you are a one-shot, and I'm not going to poke you again, because yeah, I'm not getting HE'd again. That's not happening. So yeah, you can have fun staring at me all you want, but I am not going to be poking you anymore. Let's get a shell into this guy. Wow, our shells have been high rolling like crazy this game. That's very good. Unfortunately for me, that E75 on our team, it does bounce the WZ. So yeah, that sucks. That really sucks. But we are able to kill him, so screw you, WZ. Keep spamming HE, see how it goes. Anyways, But yeah, be careful with high HE alpha tanks because they will be able to spam HE at you and deal quite a bit of damage. And considering you don't have that much HP, even if someone's splashing you for like 300, it really adds up quickly, and you do have to be very careful of that. So, we do of course have Hikaru, and unfortunately I can't get a shell into him because our E75 is sticking his tank out in a very weird spot. But it is what it is. Let's see if I can get... Ooh, that was a nice hatching shot into the Type 71. And let's see if I can get another one out, bro. Bro, the C75. And what is bro doing? Let's see here. Unfortunately, that one doesn't pen either, but it's okay. I should be able to out-reload this guy's reverse speed, and we do get another shell into him. The Type has a lot of pen, though, so I do have to be careful. But it looks like he's just going to be ignoring me for now. We'll see if he shoots at that 777. Kind of hoping he does. There we go. He does shoot the 777. And now I am able to hopefully get another shell into him before I do die. Let's see here. Get premium shell into him so I can actually guarantee the pen. And it looks like our buddy here from Rival is, in fact, HP sharing at the same time as face hugging him. So that was excellent for us. Good job there, 777. And we do get our third and final game. We do get a win on it, so that's excellent. And yeah, 4,200 damage. Very solid game in the Badger. You can see, though, how getting HE splashed in this tank is really... it's a big pain in the ass, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Just be careful about that. But you can see Badger is a fantastic tank, and I think for 17,500 gold, it's actually a pretty fair price for this tank. It's, I would say get the tank itself. I don't think it's worth getting the bundle with its camo and all that. I don't think it's worth getting that extra stuff for an extra, like, bit of gold or money. I don't know. I think 17,500 gold is probably the max I would spend for this tank, especially since these things like the ×5s only apply to the Badger. And yes, you do get 30 days of premium. So I don't know. It's really up to you. But I do think the tank is worth it for the price that it is in the shop for, because I think it's a very fun tank and it can do quite well in most situations. But anyways, if any of you out there have not yet subscribed to the channel yet, I highly recommend you do so. It's a fantastic way to support the content I make, as well as stay up to date when I post videos almost daily. Now, I will be doing a live stream tomorrow, so I guess for any of you who will be tuning into that, I will see you then. And for the rest of you, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.